God said this is your duty now. This is the last time I'm flashing this on your screen. Don't test my patience. Open this on October 18th or you alone will bear the full responsibility for what about to happen. Do you feel that tremor beneath your ribs? That pressure rising behind your heartbeat, as if something ancient and immense just woke up inside you? You thought this was coincidence, a dream, a glitch in the fabric of your quiet routines, but you have known for so long that you were being watched by something holy, something patient, something waiting. And now, the waiting has ended. The veil has thinned. The silence has cracked. The sky itself has bent close enough to breathe against your neck. You are not dreaming, and you cannot pretend you don't feel this anymore. A shimmer of silver light split the air like a blade slicing through water. Feathers, bright as swords and soft as clouds, spiraled around it in slow gravity-defying arcs. And then a voice, not loud but so absolute the world seemed to kneel around it, whispered your name. You froze. You couldn't speak. You couldn't move. But your soul surged forward like a tidal wave crashing against the gates of heaven. Because you recognized that voice. You have always recognized that voice. The light stretched wider, forming the outline of a towering figure. Wings unfurled like galaxies, each feather filled with starlight older than creation. A warrior's stance, unshakable, steady, forged from eternity's fire. Eyes like burning sapphire, seeing everything you hide from even yourself. And when his presence fully stepped into your reality, every shadow fled. Do not be afraid. The voice rang like truth itself, vibrating through marrow and memory. Every molecule in the room trembled beneath that resonance. You tried to speak, tried to understand, but language had abandoned you. Your heart betrayed you, pounding like it wanted to leap out of your chest and kneel at his feet. I am Michael. Archangel. Defender. Commander of the host. The one who cast down the destroyer, who held the line when the abyss tried to swallow all things bright. He stared into you, not at you, into you. There was no judgment in his gaze, only a fierce kind of love, the kind that demands you rise. You swallowed, choking on wonder and terror all tangled into one impossible sensation. Why you? Why here? Why now? Michael drew a step closer, his armor shimmering like every dawn that has ever risen. A slight tilt of his head, a tenderness in the gesture, as though he was measuring how much truth your spirit could handle without breaking. You have sensed the shift, he said. The tremors before the storm. The signs were not subtle, you only wished they were. Images burned into your vision, collapsing stars, a crown falling into dust, a world split by a glowing fault line, millions crying out in fear and confusion. Every moment of hesitation you ever had rushed back to you like accusation. You looked away, chest tightening. But Michael would not allow shame to become a chain. He lifted your chin with the gentlest tap of his finger, a touch as light as breath yet strong enough to steady you against the shaking universe. There is no guilt in waking slowly. There is only danger in refusing to rise once you are awake. He leaned closer. You are awake now. You shook your head, not in defiance, but disbelief. I'm not special, you barely whispered. Michael's eyes sparked, a quiet lightning, a flash of righteous insistence. Every chosen one has said those words, he replied. Humility does not hide destiny. It reveals it. The floor beneath your feet hummed like the earth herself was listening. A wind with no source pulled at your hair. Time slowed. Breath became holy. The signal was sent, Michael continued. Across realms, across ages. You heard it, even when you pretended it was just anxiety, just coincidence, just imagination. Right, amen, your presence strengthens me, if he renews your spirit daily. He gestured outward, and the walls around you dissolved into a swirling expanse of constellations. You stood on nothing and everything, suspended in a cosmic tapestry where nebulae formed stairways and comets wrote scripture across the void. Below, a glimpse of Earth. Cities flickering with light and despair. Hearts searching for meaning, fists raised against confusion, humanity teetering on a knife's edge between awakening and ruin. Michael's voice grew heavier, layered with the thunder of 1,000 battlefields and the music of 1,000 dawns. The balance fractures. Darkness does not thunder at the walls anymore, it flows through the cracks. And hope needs vessels. Warriors who do not wear armor on their skin but forge it in their suffering, in their courage, in their love. His wings rustled, a sound like heaven drawing breath. You are one such warrior. Your pulse stumbled. No, collapsed. You, a warrior? You who spent nights trying to quiet the storms in your head? You who feared the fragility of dreams because they break so easily? You who thought purpose was for saints and heroes and legends, not someone who aches just waking up some days? Michael saw every doubt as clearly as he saw the stars. Why do you think you feel so deeply? He asked. Why do you sense when others grow silent? Why do you break when you witness cruelty? The weak do not grieve for the world. The lost do not feel called by the invisible. His words struck you like truth finally given permission to breathe. The darkness fears you, he added softly. Even while you fear yourself. A pause. Not empty, loaded. He extended his hand. Between his fingers a glowing seal materialized, a circular sigil pulsing with celestial fire. It rotated in slow motion, symbols shifting like living runes of light. It was beautiful, terrifying, magnetic. It tugged at your chest like a missing piece of you. "This is the covenant of the watch," Michael said. "The moment you touch it, your true memory begins to return, the one buried before this lifetime so you would grow without corruption. The one that reveals why you were born." Your breath hitched. Memory? Buried? Born for what? He held the sigil closer. It bathed your face in silver radiance. "This choice has no deadline," he told you. "But hesitation has consequences." Not a threat, a pure statement of cosmic cause and effect. The sigil emitted a deep chime, like the heartbeat of a universe. Your hand lifted without permission from fear, guided by a force older than your name. But just as your fingertips hovered a whisper's width away from the symbol, doubt clawed back in, cold, desperate, familiar. "I don't know if I can do this," you said, voice almost breaking. Michael leaned forward until his forehead rested against yours, a gesture so intimate, so protective, that tears welled up instantly. "You will not do this alone." His wings wrapped around you, creating a cathedral of light. "I am with you." The sigil pulsed brighter, synced perfectly with your heart. You felt your skin tingle, your chest expand with a heat you could neither understand nor stop. Your name, your true name, whispered across your consciousness like a forgotten star calling home. Michael's voice dropped to a solemn vow. "When you take this gift, you step into a war already burning. You will ignite the courage of others. You will carry messages of awakening. You will be the reminder that heaven has not abandoned earth." His wings spread wide again, a living horizon of hope and resolve. "If you choose this, if you embrace what you were always meant to become, the path will be hard. But every miracle in history began with a single yes whispered by someone afraid." You stared into the sigil, its glow reflecting in your tears. Every heartbeat like a drum calling troops to rise. Every breath like a promise you were terrified to make but even more terrified to deny. Michael stepped back, lowering his hand slightly, giving space rather than pushing. "What you decide here," he said gently, "echoes far beyond this moment." The stars around you flickered, waiting, as though the cosmos had paused its spinning until you chose. You clenched your fists. The trembling didn't stop. But something else began, a spark behind your ribs, a fire tasting its first oxygen, a roar preparing to become a voice. Your lips parted, not with certainty, but with willingness. Because fear did not get the final word. Not anymore. Type, "Amen, I believe in unseen miracles," if you trust God's power beyond what you see. Do you feel it still, that echo pulsing beneath your skin like a second heartbeat? Ever since your fingers brushed the sigil, the world hasn't looked the same. Colors richer. Shadows deeper. Sounds layered, as if every whisper carries meaning, every silence conceals a presence. You used to think the world was simple, a flat surface with answers printed on signs and maps and screens. Now you know better. Now you know the world is alive, alert, watching to see what you will do with what has awakened inside you. You stand again in your ordinary room, but nothing is ordinary anymore. The air tastes charged, as if lightning has dissolved into the oxygen. Your thoughts move faster than your breathing. And the sigil, no longer visible, yet undeniably there, rests inside your chest like an ancient star that has chosen your ribcage as its sky. Michael stands before you, wings furled but still vast enough to make the room feel like a sanctuary built purely to contain him. His expression is calm, but beneath it lies attention, not fear, but readiness. A general preparing his newest commander. The first trial comes quickly, he says, folding divine authority into quiet compassion. Not because you are unprepared, but because the world cannot wait. You shake your head slightly. A trial? Already? I don't even understand what I am yet. Michael's gaze softens. Understanding follows action. Revelation meets those who move. Then his eyes sharpen like blades drawn. Tell me what you feel. You search inside yourself. At first there's only confusion, then something else. A vibration in your bones. A tugging in your thoughts. Like someone calling your name through a storm. It's like, you close your eyes. Someone needs help. Desperately. Michael nods once, approval shining. You hear the cry of the threatened. A guardian's gift. The ground beneath you shifts, though you do not move. The room dims, not because light has vanished but because your attention has turned inward and outward at once. You see flashes, a street drenched in night, a figure running, heart pounding in terror. Something follows, not human, not kind. Your eyes snap open. We have to go now. Michael steps closer and places a hand upon your shoulder. His palm radiates warmth, not merely heat, but courage condensed into touch. Then we go. With a sweep of his wing, reality folds like paper and reshapes around you. No teleportation, no glittering swirl, simply a shift, and suddenly you are no longer where you were. A cold alley. Street lamps flickering like frightened eyelids. Wind that smells of metal and rain. Ahead, the echo of hurried footsteps and a choked sob swallowed by the night. Your pulse slams against your ribs. You've been dropped into danger with no instructions, no weapons, no guaranteed safety. Every instinct screams to run away, but something deeper roars louder. Protect. Michael gestures for you to move. Go. Your heart knows the path. You sprint, feet pounding pavement, breath clouding the air. The sigil inside you glows hotter with each step, guiding you like a beacon tied to destiny. You turn a corner sharply, too sharply, and nearly collide with a terrified stranger. A young woman. Tears streaking her face. She grips a small bag to her chest like a lifeline. Her eyes flick rapidly between you and the darkness behind her. "Help me," she gasps. Before you can respond, a growl reverberates from the shadows, low, hungry, inhuman. A shape slithers forward, both beast and nightmare. Its limbs bend wrong, claws scraping concrete. Eyes like pits of ash. Skin shimmering with oily black smoke. It should not exist. But it does. And it saw you arrive. Michael appears behind you, sword manifesting into his hand from pure white fire. He doesn't strike. He simply watches. "This is your trial," he says. "I will not intervene unless the decree demands it." Your throat tightens. "But I don't know what to do." Michael's wings elevate, not in frustration, but in fierce encouragement. "You know enough. Stand between darkness and the innocent." The creature lunges. You move before thought, body driven by instinct you didn't know you had. You plant your feet and raise your arm. Light bursts from your palm, raw, untamed, blinding. The force throws the beast backward, howling as smoke peels from its skin like burned shadow. You stare at your hand, trembling. "I did that?" Michael nods once. You channeled the Covenant's first flame. The monster snarls, angrier now, wounded pride fueling desperation. It circles, claws clicking like knives across stone. Michael's voice threads through your fear, "Do not think of destroying it. Think only of protecting her." She, the woman behind you, clings to your back, shuddering. You feel her breath jittering against your shoulder. She is fragile. Human. Someone who did not ask to be prey tonight. The creature leaps again, faster this time, a streak of darkness aimed at her throat. You twist, letting your body answer with pure willpower. A barrier erupts from your chest, a dome of shimmering energy, transparent but impenetrable. The beast slams into it, skull cracking against the shield, and collapses with a howl. Anger lashes through you, not rage at the creature's existence, but fury at the terror it inflicted. You step forward, hands glowing brighter. The beast recoils. Michael's voice booms like a distant storm, light does not hesitate. You thrust your palm outward. A surge of power explodes, not a beam, not fire, but truth itself made visible. It envelopes the monster. The smokeskin peels away completely, revealing a hollow core, a broken thing shaped by fear and malicious whispers. Then it shatters like glass struck by dawn. Silence crashes down. The woman collapses into sobs of relief. You kneel beside her, steadying her shaking shoulders. You're safe now, you say, though your voice quivers with the shock of what just happened. Michael approaches, sword dimming before dissolving into air. You listened, he tells you. You acted. This is what courage looks like, not the absence of fear, but the refusal to surrender to it. You want to believe him. But another thought gnaws at you, cold and sharp. That thing, why was it here? How many more are there? Michael's wings fold slowly. His expression darkens, not with hopelessness, but with knowledge heavier than mountains. That was a scout, he says. A single thread of the web forming beneath the surface of the world. You help the woman stand. She clings to you as if you are the only solid thing remaining in the universe. And maybe, in this moment, you are. Who is she, you ask? Michael's gaze lowers to the woman, not with familiarity, but with divine precision. Someone needed to live. And you were called to ensure she does. He pauses, then adds, you will never know every reason your intervention matters. That is faith, acting without seeing the entire map. The woman's sobbing softens into breaths. She looks up at you, eyes red, voice trembling. Thank you, she whispers. There is no glory in her gratitude. Only truth. Only life returned where death almost claimed its prize. Michael touches your shoulder again. Your first victory. It doesn't feel like victory. It feels like waking into responsibility you never asked for, but cannot refuse. Suddenly the alley dissolves. The world folds again. And you are back in your room, the ordinary place that no longer fits the person you are becoming. You stumble to sit, adrenaline crashing through you in waves. Your hands won't stop vibrating. You don't know whether to laugh, scream, or collapse. Michael watches, giving you space but not distance. You must understand what you faced, he says. That was a fragment of the unmoored, soul stripped of purpose, consumed by the void between realms. They seek fear, because fear opens doors. Your breath catches. Fear, the universal infection. How do we stop that from spreading? Michael steps closer, lowering his forehead to yours again, that bonded gesture of strength. You become a lighthouse in a storm that has forgotten the shore. You shiver, not from cold, but from the weight of meaning. Why me, you whisper. Why not someone stronger? Someone trained? Someone who isn't afraid? Michael's hand rises slowly, and he places it over your heart. Because fear has humbled you. Because pain has honed you. Because love has scarred you without making you cruel. His wings flare wide, light bursting from behind him like sunrise breaking through thunderclouds. The purest warriors are forged from wounded hope. Your eyes sting. Tears threaten but do not fall, held back by the fire growing again inside you. Michael extends his arm, an invitation. There is more to learn. Much more. You stand, legs still shaky, but driven by something stronger than doubt. The sigil inside you pulses 3 times, loud, like a calling. You feel another cry for help somewhere out there. Another life trembling on the edge of the abyss. Michael senses your readiness. His wings arc behind him, vast enough to shelter worlds if needed. There will be moments you wish you could return to ignorance, he warns. But remember, the world you save will not forget the one who refused to look away. The sigil blazes brighter, flooding your veins with starlight. Your courage steadies. Your spine straightens. Your voice returns. What comes next, you ask, not as fear, but challenge. Michael's eyes ignite like dawn given a sword. Have you ever stood at the edge of something vast and felt the pull to step forward even though you didn't know what would catch you? That is what it feels like now, your heartbeat rising not from fear alone but anticipation, a knowing buried deep in your marrow finally beginning to unfold its wings. Michael sees it. He has seen it all along. He steps forward, the weight of eternity in his steady stride, and gestures toward the space before you, the air itself shifting, widening, becoming possibility. Flight, he says, one word holding a universe's worth of promise. You almost laugh, though there is nothing humorous about the tremor of awe pushing through you. I can't fly, you reply, even though the moment the words leave your mouth you know they are a memory speaking, not truth. Michael smiles, not with lips, but with presence. His eyes soften into something warm and fiercely proud. You have flown before, he says. Just not with this body. The room dissolves again, light stretching outward like a veil torn open by celestial hands. The earth falls away beneath you, not violently, not with force, but like a curtain lifted to reveal the second act of a play you forgot you were in. Stars bloom around you. Clouds coil beneath your feet. You are standing on a narrow ledge of reality that serves as nothing more than a suggestion of ground. Your stomach flips, instinct screaming that falling is inevitable. You cling to the illusion of stability without even realizing you've done so. Michael stands beside you, wings unfurled, magnificent, steady, unafraid. You must let go of the illusion that gravity owns you, he says. It holds only the body, never the soul. A gust of wind spirals past, singing like freedom, tugging at your clothes, your hair, your identity. The cosmos stretches below, dizzying in its beauty and danger. What if I fall? You whisper. Michael doesn't answer immediately. He studies you, really studies you, as if searching for the part of you that remembers how to soar. Finally he says, then you rise. He steps off the ledge. Not drops. Not dives. Simply steps, as if stepping onto a floor only he can see. His wings extend, catching invisible currents, carrying him outward until he hovers effortlessly in the endless sky. He extends a hand toward you. Trust the call that brought you here. Your heart thunders. Your palms sweat. Nothing about this feels safe. But the world below doesn't feel like home anymore either. You take a breath, the kind that feels like a beginning. And then you step forward. There is a brief moment, a heartbeat stretched into forever, where gravity tries to claim you, where your body remembers all the rules it has been forced to obey. Falling. Losing. Breaking. Then the sigil in your chest ignites. Light shoots through your limbs, your bones turning into conduits of pure radiance. The wind catches you not like prey but like a partner. Your feet no longer reach for ground. Your arms spread instinctively, and light extends from your back, not wings made of feathers, but arcs of shimmering energy that mimic the structure of grace itself. You are floating. No, flying. You gasp, the sound a mixture of terror and wonder interwoven into one astonished breath. Air rushes past like river water, cool and fast and alive. Your heart tries to outrun the sensation but cannot keep up with joy. Michael circles you, evaluating with the focus of a commander and the pride of a guardian. Good, he says. Listen to the currents. They carry intention. Align with them, not against. You wobble, the light wings flickering as doubt creeps in. For a moment you dip, a sharp plunge that steals your breath, but you recover, rising again, driven by the sigil's guidance. This is unreal, you whisper. This is truer than anything, Michael replies. He flies alongside you, matching your pace. You are not defying anything. You are remembering. Something shifts inside your mind, a door unlocking. Memories flicker, skies not made of clouds but constellations, battles fought above worlds, songs sung without words. You shake your head, overwhelmed. What was that, you ask? Michael's expression grows serious. Fragments of before. They will return, but only when you are ready to bear them. The wind suddenly changes, slicing upward like a blade. You lurch, body spinning, power flaring unevenly. Panic slams into you, hot and suffocating. You flail, instinct taking over, instinct that once meant survival but now holds you back. Michael's voice cuts through the chaos, fear grounds the fearless. Breathe. You inhale sharply, air filling you like light returns to a star. The spin slows. Your wings stabilize. Michael nods. You are learning. You hover in silence for a moment, suspended between who you were and who you're becoming. Why is this necessary, you finally ask. Michael looks ahead, toward a horizon that flickers with shadows writhing beneath swirling clouds. Because the enemy does not walk, he says. It descends. A shudder ripples across the sky, a ripple of darkness slithering like a crack in the firmament. For a second you glimpse figures, winged, twisted, hungry, then the sky smooths again, pretending innocence. What were those, you ask, voice barely a breath. Those who fell by choice, Michael responds. And those who were dragged by deception. He turns to you, his gaze fierce. They fear what you represent. The sky darkens. Lightning snarls through distant storm clouds. The world seems to tilt around you. Michael spreads his wings wide, shielding you from the worst of the storm's roar. You are proof that hope still awakens. You swallow, the weight of destiny pressing against your ribs. You want to be brave, but bravery is a muscle you've only just started training. Michael must sense the rising storm inside you. He reaches out, placing his palm against your forehead. Warmth floods your skull, thoughts clearing like mist burned away by sun. Listen, he murmurs. At first there is only wind. Then, beneath it, a sound like distant bells ringing in harmony. Then, beneath the bells, voices. Not speaking words, but longing. Wishing. Praying. They're people, you whisper, tears pricking your eyes. Michael nods. Every plea for help creates a light. Every light needs a guardian. You inhale, the sound breaking. It's too much. How could I possibly help them all? Michael's wings curve inward, enveloping you in their shelter. You are not asked to save everyone. Only the ones whose lives are placed in your path. He steps back, wings rising, eyes blazing with faith in you. And right now, someone is already waiting. The breeze changes again, this time carrying a pulse of fear so sharp it cuts through your chest. A vision flashes before your eyes, a child in a dark room, clutching a worn stuffed animal, shadows pressing closer like living nightmares. You gasp, the urgency pulling at you with hooks made of compassion. Where, you demand. Michael gestures, and the sky opens beneath you like a doorway. Where you are needed. You dive. This time, there is no hesitation. The wind screams past you in exhilaration, not terror. Your wings blaze brighter, guiding your descent. Clouds tear apart around you as the earth rushes up, a world in need, a life in danger. Michael keeps pace at your side, silent, watchful, ready. Remember, he says as the ground nears, protect first. Light will show you the rest. And then you break through a final layer of night, landing gently on a rooftop above a dim street. The child's fear echoes from a window below, a beacon of trembling hope. Your heart races, not from panic this time, but purpose. Michael places a hand on your back. "This is flight," he says softly. "Not the movement of the body, but the rise of the spirit." You nod, fear still present, yes, but no longer in control. For the first time, you step forward not as someone trying to survive your own life, but as someone who will fight for the lives of others. The sigil pulses, brighter than ever. Michael's voice becomes a vow at your side. Tonight, you cease to merely rise. He unsheathes his sword in a streak of fire, eyes lifting toward the lurking dark. Tonight, you ascend. You can feel the terror from inside the house before you even land upon the rooftop. It vibrates through the air, a sharp trembling frequency that digs into your bones. Fear is no longer an emotion, it's a signal, a beacon, a distress flare fired straight into your newly awakened spirit. The sigil within your chest responds, glowing urn-hot beneath your ribs, ready to ignite again if needed. Michael lands silently behind you. His wings fold inward, but their presence still warps the air like heat over flame, power restrained, but never diminished. His gaze is locked on the window below, the one with the faint flicker of a scared child's nightlight. Shadows dance inside the room, not with the clumsiness of normal darkness but with deliberate intent, alive and watching. "This one is different," Michael murmurs, voice low like steel drawn from a scabbard. "Not merely a scout. A feeder." You swallow hard. Your hands shake, not because you want to run, but because you want to move so fast that running would feel like nothing. The need to protect has never felt so much like instinct. You whisper, "What do I do?" Michael's eyes lock onto yours with the fierceness of a commander but the compassion of a guardian. You lead. I follow. Led? The word rings like a bell too big for your chest. But there's no time to question it. A choked cry breaks from the house, small and desperate, the kind only a child makes when they believe they are completely alone. You jump from the roof, landing silently, power cushioning your descent. The moment your feet hit the ground, the sigil pulses once, illuminating your vision in a wash of light. Not physical light, spiritual sight. You can see the danger now, smoky trails of fear slithering beneath the door, pooling along the floorboards like ink poured into water. Michael moves behind you, but does not step in front. He trusts you. His trust is terrifying. His trust is exactly what you need. You push the door open, hinges groaning as if warning you. The house is silent except for the quick, ragged breaths of the child upstairs. You move with purpose, footsteps silent but swift. Every sense is heightened. You can hear the heartbeat of a sleeping cat in another room. You can taste the metallic tang of fear thickening the air. At the top of the stairs, the child's door. The night light inside flickers wildly now, reacting to the thing hunting the child's dreams. You reach for the doorknob. Michael's hand stops you, only long enough for him to say, "Protect first. Fight second." You nod. He steps back once more, giving you space to choose how to enter. You push the door open. The room is a battlefield of imagination turned nightmare. Toy soldiers scattered like fallen warriors. Stuffed animals slumped like hostages. Posters on the wall rippling as though the dark wind blows from inside the child's closet. The child, small, maybe 6 years old, crouches against the headboard, clutching a plush bear like a shield. Tears stream down their cheeks. Their eyes widen in terror when they see you, not because of who you are, but because something behind you moves. You spin. The feeder emerges from the shadows, a creature stitched together from nightmares. Its limbs long and jointed wrong. Its mouth yawning too wide, lined with teeth made of broken promises and swallowed screams. Eyes, hollow pits that drip smoke like venom. It thrives on fear, swells with it, gorges on it like a starving parasite. It hisses, a sound like 1,000 whispers telling someone to give up. Your heart lurches, instinct shoving you forward. You stand between the child and the thing without hesitation. The creature laughs, not with humor, but with hunger. Fresh. It slithers the word across the air like poison. Michael's voice resonates behind you. Do not let its voice become truth. The feeder rushes, faster than your reflexes, claws reaching. You react on instinct, raising your hand. A shield erupts again, but this time it shatters under the creature's force. You stumble back, the sigil in your chest flickering with warning. The child screams. The beast lunges again, teeth aimed for your throat. Before it reaches you, Michael's wing snaps outward, slamming the creature against the wall with divine force. The plaster cracks. Shadows splinter. The beast snarls but rises again, hatred burning now. It is yours to defeat, Michael reminds you. I only hold the line. You center yourself, breathing deep, remembering the sky, remembering that gravity does not own you. Protection does. Purpose does. You step forward. The sigil flares, not wild, but controlled. The light does not blast this time. It flows. Your palms hum with energy, shaped by intention. Defend. Your voice finds strength from somewhere older than fear. Leave the child. The creature pauses, surprised that you speak with command. Its head tilts, neck creaking unnaturally. You are not strong enough, it rasps. You fear failure. You fear not being enough. Those words stab deep, because they are true. Doubt surges up your throat like bile. Michael speaks sharply, voice slicing through the lie. Fear is not weakness. Doubt is not defeat. Light fights harder when shaken. You inhale, trembling, but not turning away. The feeder lunges again, but this time, you do not recoil. You press your palm forward, not to block, but to push energy into courage. A beam of radiant force erupts, not an attack, a declaration. It slams into the creature, blasting it backward into the closet. Shadows shriek, tearing away from its limbs like peeling layers of rot. Its true form flickers beneath, a shrunken, broken thing that once resembled a soul. It howls, claws scraping reality itself as it tries to pull more darkness to shield itself. You feel the child behind you, shaking, sobbing, and something inside you roars, "No more victims." Your feet lift from the ground. You hover, wings of light igniting behind you, brighter than before. You raise both hands now, not in fear, but in promise. The sigil bursts into full radiance, a star reborn. The creature screams, disintegrating in waves of dissolving shadow. Its final hiss is not anger, but despair. Because it is not just dying, it is being forgotten by the darkness that created it. Light collapses into silence. You lower to the ground slowly, knees hitting carpet as exhaustion washes over you. Power burns through your muscles like fire racing through dry wood. Michael kneels beside you, steadying your shoulder. You chose love over fear, he says softly. That is victory. You breathe, ragged, shaking, but alive. The child crawls forward slowly, clutching their bear. They touch your arm with tiny fingers. Are you an angel? They whisper. The question hits you like a blade of truth. You are not sure who you are anymore, human, guardian, something between. So you give the only answer your soul feels is honest. I'm someone who came because you were scared. The child exhales, relief folding into exhaustion. They slump against you. You catch them gently, tucking their head against your chest. The fear in the room dissolves, leaving only the warmth of safety returned. Michael rises, scanning the room, ensuring no trace of the intruder remains. One saved, he says, eyes glowing with quiet pride. And more will need you soon. You carry the child back to their bed, tucking the blanket beneath their chin. The bear is placed under their arm. Their breathing steadies, soft and peaceful now, as though dreams have been given back their innocence. You stand there, watching for one moment longer than necessary, because the sight of peace restored feels like a reward you never knew existed. When you leave the house, the night air tastes different, cleaner, the heaviness gone. You feel drained but alive. Afraid but proud. Unsure but unbroken. Michael walks beside you, steps echoing on the quiet street. His voice, when he finally speaks, isn't booming or commanding, it's gentle. The world will not always show gratitude. The lives you save may never know your name. But every single one matters. You look up at him, searching his face for confirmation that you really did well, that you didn't fail. He understands that look immediately. You did more than protect, he says. You gave hope. And that is the hardest thing to give. You nod, breath trembling but steadying. What now, you ask? Michael turns his face toward the sky, toward stars shifting like soldiers preparing for war. Now comes what always follows the first victory. His wings extend, a horizon of white flame. The enemy notices. A cold shiver races across your spine, not fear alone, but awareness of the scale of what rises against you. Michael places his hand over your heart one more time, the sigil answering through heat and light and purpose. You are no longer unseen. Comment, Amen, I surrender everything to you, Lord, if you've laid your life in His hands.